Alright, yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Tej, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a beat for EST. It's gonna be similar to that like dark orchestra style that he has on his recent project, Bigger Than Life or Death. And I'm gonna be breaking down every component of this beat from scratch. So I'll be showing y'all the sound selection, melodies, and drums, and I'll be showing y'all like how to make the melodies and how to construct layers and all that. As always, I'll play the full beat at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. With all that out of the way, let's hop right into the beat. Alright, so this is our first FLP. First thing I'm going to discuss is the tempo. I've noticed tempos anywhere from like 155, 160 to about like 175 typically work for beats like this, because you really want your drums to be kind of fast and up tempo. And I was kind of aiming for kind of a quicker melody type of vibe too. And so the BPM I ended up landing on was 161. Hopping into the first melody, I opened up Xband and I got this sad format strings preset. And I laid down these pretty basic like bass chords. I believe this is an A sharp minor, so it's just the bass A note and then F and then down a scale degree to D sharp. And then I also have that bottom bass note A sharp as a higher pitch too, and that's just lower in velocity, so it's not quite as loud as the other one. So by itself, it sounds something like this. So I took that and I threw it into a mixer using Control L, and I put an EQ on it and I cut it at about 200 Hertz just to cut out some of the bassy frequencies. We're gonna fill that bass and sub bass area with some other elements later on in the beat, so I didn't want that to conflict with it. Then I put an RC20 on it and I added a little bit of wobble and some space, and I also created like a bandpass in the EQ. Then I added another EQ cutting some of the mids, and again, this is just to add a little more room for some of the other elements we have later in the beat. Next thing I did was got this solo violin preset from Xband again. I laid out this really high-pitched violin melody, so with our strings, this is what we got. And then took that sound, threw it into a mixer track, and I put some RC20 on it, so added a little bit of wobble, had some distortion, and again some space just to widen it out. And then I put another bandpass on it, just a slightly different interval, so from about 3000 Hertz to 450 Hertz. And then I ended up putting a love filter on it. It's a melodic bandpass, and I put the circle right about there, somewhere in the top right. And then now moving on to our third melody, I opened up Addictive Keys, and I just got the default Studio Grand preset, and I laid out this pretty simple piano melody. And so the whole melody is just the first 4 measures copied and pasted for the full 8. And then in the mixer, I put a low pass on it to cut out some of the key sounds, and then put an RC20 on it. Again, pretty similar to some of the other melody sounds, just add some wobble and some space, and then a bandpass to cut out some of the harsh high sounds. And I also panned it a little to the left, so that way the stereo image was kind of centralized instead of being panned more to the right. After that, I exported those into audio clips. So selected all these dots right here, turned them into red, and then hit Alt R. And then once you've hit Alt R, hit start. It'll render out those mixer tracks from your pattern into an audio clip. So then I opened up a new arrangement. I first pitched the violin sound down an octave, and then I pitched all the audio clips up 1/2 step. So now we are in the key of B minor. And then I added a couple more elements. So the first thing that I added was another Xband, got another sad format strings, and this is just a bass note pattern, and that sounds something like this in context. Lastly, I added this arcade audio clip you kind of see at the bottom here. The arcade bank I used was the Rubicon, and I came up with this MIDI by itself. So I took that sound, threw it into a mixer, and I put a Valhalla Supermassive on it, turned the warp up to 100%, so now it's in reverb mode. Then I put a stock Fruity Love filter on it and turned the mixer rack knob to 66%. So now that we got them rendered into an audio clip, what I did is I went to the top left of the clip, left clicked on it and select automate volume. And then I got an automation clip and created this slope with it because it came in kind of quick and I wanted there to be like a little bit of like an attack effect. So it just kind of swelled in. That way it doesn't just kind of jump out and it seems out of place. So altogether, our melody sounds something like this. So for the final export of my melody, I put a Fruity stereo shaper on it, added a little bit of delay to the right side, and I put this knob down to about there. And then I put an EQ on it just to cut out some of the low sub basses, a little bit of the harsh highs, and some of the harsh noises in the low mids and mids. After that, I went ahead and I arranged out a little bit of the melody as seen here, and then I exported it into a new FLP. And so now we got this in the new FLP. I went ahead, kind of tweaked some of the arranging a little bit, changed some of the elements. And then once I got all the new arranging done and all that, I started with the drums. So first thing I got was this clap. And in context, we got a pattern that sounds like this. Next, I added a hi-hat pattern. So all the finer chopped rolls are using the 1/3 step setting under the magnet, and all the other ones are using the 1/6 beat chopping setting. Next, I added this boosted spins 808 sound. After that, I added an open at sound to the 4 of every other measure. And then I added this snare sound. And the snare rolls, I believe, are using the 1/2 step chop setting. Then I added this perk, and this perk will be in my upcoming drum kit. And then lastly, just added a kick. Alright, so that's pretty much all I got. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you're able to take something away from it. If you liked the video, hit the like. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. Go follow my Instagram. Link will be in the description below or at beatsbytej. I've been working on a drum kit recently, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's pretty much all I got. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Why don't you run with this Tej?